yesterday, boys and girls, we heard about one of the towns of Canaan. God has given these towns of Canaan, these cities, 400 years of mercy. And they are worshiping idols, and they're also doing a lot of other very wrong things. And God said, now this land that I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, now my people are going to live in this land. So they have destroyed Jericho. They destroyed Ai, but one of the mighty cities, one of the mighty cities, Gibeon, has said, oh no, let's be tricky. Let's make a treaty with them. And so they did. Remember yesterday they had all those old clothes and things like that? Well, there's lots of other cities. The big cities have big gates around them, and there's a king of each city. And there's a king of Jerusalem. And when he hears, he does not like Israel one little bit. He is scared of Israel because he's heard of the power of God. But when he hears that Gibeon has made this treaty, he's more scared, but he's also angry. And so he says, here's Jerusalem, and here is Gibeon, and here's Jericho and Ai and Bethel. He sends some messengers to some other kings. He sends one to the king of, let's see if I can remember it, Jarmuth, and one to the king of Eglon, and one to the king of Hebron, and one to another king. And he says, Gibeon has made a covenant. They've made a treaty with the Israelites. Let's teach them a lesson. They have joined the enemy. And so all those 5 kings, they get together. So they have a huge army. And then they go and besiege Gibeon. Boys and girls, when you besiege something, that means you go all the way around it. So you're all the way around it so nobody can get out and nobody can get in. Well, there they are. Gibeon. They've made this covenant, but they think right away, let's go ask Joshua to help us. We made a covenant with Joshua. So I don't know, the Bible doesn't tell us, but probably in the middle of the night, they open the gate very quietly, and some of the spies probably sneak out, and they go to Joshua, and they said, please help us, please save us, because we have 5 kings that are surrounding all around us. What do you think? Do you think Joshua said, well, tough luck on you. You tricked us? No, he doesn't. They made a covenant, a treaty, and so Joshua gets his men together. And God tells Joshua, don't be afraid. I have given you these men. You will be able to defeat these cities because I will fight for you. All night long, Joshua and his men, they travel. And in the morning, they get to Gibeon. And when the people, all those soldiers that are around Gibeon, when they see that the Israelites coming, they go into a panic and they start running. And Joshua and his men start chasing them and killing them. And then God does something else, something amazing. Dark clouds come over, and the Lord gets all kinds of huge hailstones. And these hailstones start banging into the people from Gibeon, all those men. And more people died because of the hailstones that God sent on them than because of the killing of the swords of the Israelites. Well, and then something amazing happens. The days going by, and they think, we're not going to be able to, we're being so successful, but it's getting a little bit darker. We're probably, the day is going to be finished, and all these men will be able to hide, and we won't be able to get them. And then Joshua says, sun, stand still. Moon, stand still. And God listens to Joshua and to his command. And God makes it so the sun does stand still. And the moon doesn't come up. And they for almost a whole day, they keep fighting till that all their enemies are conquered. It's never happened before that God made the sun to stand still because of a man. But remember, Joshua is a little picture of Jesus. Do you remember Jesus said to those huge waves, he said, be still. And right away it was calm because Joshua was a little picture of Jesus. Well, those 5 kings, those kings of Jerusalem and Eglon, Eglon and Lachish and Jarmuth and Hebron, they thought, we're going to get free. And they hid in a cave. But some people found it. They saw that cave. And they said, the kings are in that cave. And Joshua said, put a big stone around it and keep guard. So they that whole day, they were fighting. And God made them successful. And at the end of the day, they came back to that cave. And all Joshua's soldiers were standing around it. Well, these were huge kings. They were big, mighty kings. They looked tough. They looked very royal. Ooh, they looked kind of scary. Joshua said to those men, come out here, those men. And he made them lie down. And then he said to his soldiers, go stand on their necks. And the reason he did it was not because he was mean, but because he wanted his men to know, with God, we can conquer the scariest person alive, just like Jesus can conquer every scary thing in life. All the things that scare us, Jesus is stronger. So that was what they did. And then God gave them success so that the people here, they didn't get all of it, but they got most of this territory. They got it, and so the people were either driven out or they stayed. They were killed. And then the land was empty, so that the people of Israel could come in and settle in it. And God gave them that land. And that is the end of the story.